Be blessed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bless you guys.
Let's bring our next guest up, Mr. Robinson. Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Mr. Robinson.
In here having a party, and I love it.
Oh yes, and now it's time for you to join the party. How you feeling, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on the broadcast today.
It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
So have you been to Injure Your Strong yet?
Absolutely. My first experiences was in 2018.
Okay.
And that one was Living Beyond Limits.
Yes.
Yes.
And, yeah, it was a life-changing experience.
So what was a moment? What was a takeaway? What was something that was said or done when you were in that atmosphere, and how has it changed your life to this day?
You know what's funny? I heard Dr. Cindy Trimm say a phrase several times because I've followed her for a long time on YouTube, just kind of like the people that were before me. But she said this that night. And you know how you hear stuff a bunch of times, but then you hear it and it resonates with you and it really kind of activates you. But she said the difference between where you want to be or where you are and where you want to be is information and revelation.
Yes.
Yes.
So of course, you know, I heard that several times, but that night when she said, I was like, yeah, the difference between where you want to be or where you are and where you want to be is the information that you are exposed to. She even talked about being exposed to information. So the information that you're exposed to, but then the revelation. She says in a moment in a time, revelation is going to hit, and when revelation hit, it breeds manifestation. It breeds the ground.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go. So yeah, that whole experience was really the breeding ground for manifestation and activation.
Come on, Sean. Yes.
Come on here.
Manifestation, then activation.
Right.
Come on.
And it's amazing what you said. It reminds me of like a seed. A seed, in my opinion, or this analogy, is the information. But the revelation says this is when you plant the seed. This is when you water the seed. And then, as you said, then it manifests, because a seed outside of its season won't grow right or won't grow at all. And so what you just said is amazing. That's so awesome. So awesome. So what are you looking forward to this year?
It says my mic is muted. Let's see.
We
hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we hear you. Yep. So what are you looking forward to this year?
So this year, of course, last year I attended virtually.
Okay.
And I thought that was gonna be a little. I'm like, okay, let me see. I think that was my first virtual conference, Christian conference. So it was amazing. So much information was given. And here's the thing about conferences. Sometimes you just need to be exposed to the information. Sometimes it may not make sense even in the time that you're getting the information.
That's
but
good.
It's like a seed, because a lot of the stuff that was given, it was coming at such a high voltage. Even last year, that in the moment it's like, oh, this is a lot. How am I going to process this? And I think even in the comment section, we was like, are we going to get an opportunity to have access to the replays and stuff like that? Because it was just so much information, we didn't want to lose it. But the Holy Spirit is so good because He'll bring it back to your remembrance in the time.
Yes.
And so that stuff in the moment, it seemed like it was a lot, but again, manifestation came from those seeds further throughout the year. So I'm looking forward to being exposed to that kind of information again.
So, Mr. Robinson, can I ask you? Could you? I love the point you said: information, revelation, and then you said
manifestation,
and then activation. Could you break down what has happened? I know you said your first year was 2018. Could you recall anything that has happened that you can literally recall those 4 steps in your life since attending Injure Your Strong?
Well, most people that know me, if you Google me, I've been in the gospel industry for over 26 years. So I'm a media personality. I have a radio broadcast. And at the time, I had just launched a magazine, kind of on the And so I had issues out and was just kind of like in that place of what direction do I want to go with this magazine? And so it's so funny. After that, some of the stuff that was said, even a year or so later, in the midst of a pandemic, we went to print with the magazine. Now, most people,
Wow.
you're in the midst of a pandemic, you may want to stay digital. But
Yeah.
Right.
and I heard Holy Spirit say, go to print. And of course, in the natural, that seems crazy in the midst of a pandemic to go to print for a magazine, especially if you were not in print already. But
Right.
has been the greatest blessing of my life.
Beautiful. Wow.
And having the strategy. See, that's the difference too. You have to be exposed to information so that Holy Spirit can give you a strategy
Mm-hmm.
how to implement the information that you were exposed to.
Correct.
It's powerful.
They don't wait for the strategy, and the only way to get the strategy is through prayer. And
That's right.
we talked about that earlier, but
That's right.
way, be still and know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stillness of our life that we get the strategies for our life.
Yeah.
You're preaching, Mr. You are preaching so.
Yes.
Preaching so.
I had to
good.
quicken because you're talking good. Because like
Yeah.
you said, literally, and you're talking our language. Everything you just said. And if y'all are listening, everyone who we've talked to thus far keeps saying prayer and strategy. Prayer and strategy. Even, I'll just throw this out there, and I believe Dr. Trimm touched on it last year. She talked about Nehemiah. When Nehemiah rebuilt the wall, he got his strategy to rebuild the wall in 52 days because he got the strategy from God. Many people preach that text and they talk about, oh, he built and he this, he that. But I don't really hear too many people honing on the fact that the strategy came through the loins of prayer.
Yeah.
It came through prayer. So y'all, as you end this year, you've got to get all of your goals and dreams and aspirations birthed through the loins of prayer, because if you don't, it's illegal. And some of you have New Year's resolutions. You're, oh, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to write my book. I'm going to write my song. I'm going to do all this stuff. Your idea is great, but if it's not birthed through the loins of prayer, it's illegal. And could it be that your goals and your dreams and aspirations are not coming to pass, or by February, March, you're throwing in the towel because you don't have the backing of heaven because you didn't birth it through the loins of prayer?
Well,
You can have a vision board party, but what's a vision board party without a prayer party? Y'all don't hear me? Ain't no party like a prayer party, because the prayer party don't stop.
So basically, let's sum this thing up with Mr. Robinson online. He is saying, what was the first step you said?
Yeah, give us your, because you preaching, so give us your points.
You preaching. I want to take notes, people. Take notes. Information.
I got it from Dr. Trimm. Of course, she said that the difference between where you are and where you want to be is information. And then, of course, what?
Revelation.
And so then that gives birth to activation and manifestation.
That's right. That's right.
Before I want to say activate, let me say this too, because a lot of times we get information, get revelation, but we don't act on what God is speaking and what God has said. If you don't, then of course you won't have the manifestation. So I want to challenge people, when you come to this virtual conference, take notes. Even if it really makes sense at the time that it's being spoken, take those notes anyway, review those notes, and then get in stillness. Be still and know. In stillness, when you're in the presence of God through prayer, and sometimes we talk to God and it's wonderful, but a lot of times we don't be still and be quiet and hear what Holy Spirit has to say. That's one of the most important strategies too, is after you do all your talking and making your requests known, be still and be quiet and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you, because again, in those quiet times, it's where God gives strategies and you need to take your life to the next level, or to live a high voltage life. One of the things I talked about was managing your time. I think it's just a to-do list. If you're quiet and you allow Holy Spirit to speak to you, not only will God allow you to manage your time, but He'll allow you to maximize your time.
Yeah.
4 hours in a day, and it seemed like you've lived 48 hours because you're
Come,
so
you,
maximize your time.
Sir, you're literally.
come
I'm
on.
trying to hold my mule. DJ Ali B, take it because I'm a shout.
Listen. So I gotta you speaking so good right now. I'm like Levi. I'm about to get up and like run around somewhere. You said you hit something so powerful, and this is, see, I don't know if people are hearing. This is why it's so important to register and to be in attendance in this summit, because the revelation that we're just hearing from, and this is from 2018 you're talking about, is so relevant today. It does not go, it doesn't get stale, it doesn't get old. It literally follows you through the course of your life. Every decision that you make, you go back to that same principle of information and revelation. And you've been receiving the activation and the manifestation because of what you heard in 2018. That seed was sown then, and it's carrying you to this point in 2021 into 2022.
Right.
And that's so powerful, because even if this is your first year attending and you're strong, you're going to get something this year that's going to carry you continuously. It's never going to leave you. And here we're talking about notes and things that we heard, the revelation from 2018 from Mr. Robinson, and it's continuously carrying him up to this point today. And I think that's so, that's all I gotta do.
Yeah.
I applaud that. I want
to say one more thing, because
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Trimm talks about this a lot too. The principles of God doesn't change.
That's right.
That's right.
God, she always is teaching the principles over and over and over again. When you get the principles, such as prayer and all that, get the principles. But here's the thing: the strategies and the way God does it change. And so that's why it's important to have conferences like this, so that you can get what strategy is God doing now.
Come on.
Manifestation. He's not dropping manna per se, the literal manna that he did.
Right.
He is dropping manna in the spirit in terms of knowledge and wisdom and all that. We need all of those strategies in this season, especially in this season, to get to the next level and to live a high voltage life.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much, sir.
We need to give you a round of, y'all put your hands together in the chat. Put your hands together in the chat. You have blessed me on tonight, for real.
Yes,
for
indeed.
real. Thank you so much. You brought back such valid. See, look, the Lord is so good. My phone is ringing. That's the Lord telling me, get on it, Alicia. Get on it. I love it. Thank you so much, Ms. Robinson. Thank you for stopping by. And we cannot wait to see you in 30 days.
Yes, indeed.
Come on, 30 days.
All right, sir. Take care. We will see you in 30 days. Y'all, that was so powerful. As we get ready to bring our next guest on, I like what he was talking about when he said strategies, because you have strategies for different seasons, which is a reason why you need to go ahead and register